Yeah, we're back with a good one. Ray Lewis to your left, Shannon Sharpe to your right. Dane, commentary. Damian Harkless, subscribe to me. Appreciate y'all. Peace. Love to everyone out there. Good vibes. I know you can feel it, motherfucker. But yeah, Ray Lewis, topic of the day. He's been scrutinized by the black community, under a lot of pressure right now, in regards to this interview right here, in which he spoke on how Cap should handle the situation, or how the Ravens should handle the situation. Basically, you know, promoting the notions of the owners and the notions of the elite, that he shouldn't be talking about it, that he's a high risk. So we're going to break down the language. We're going to decode the language. Shannon Sharpe, active participant in this, so let's hear it.
I've said this many a times. We both agree. Like, what he did, I'm 100% for racial injustice. 100%. Trust me, right? I lived it myself. So you don't have to convince me of that part. How he did it, totally different thing.
Bam. And that's one thing I'll attack early. They all say that. Every black face, every face on the media says that, yet they denounce the fact that they don't have a position in which we can take that route of calling out police brutality. You're going to say, yeah, I'm cool with you taking a stance against police brutality, but I'm not cool with how you do it. That's what white supremacy is. Every method in which we want to take, whether it's Malcolm X, whether it's a Huey Newton, whether it's a Angela Davis, whether it's a Martin Luther King, whether it's a Marcus Garvey, no matter what solution we use to take, the media will tell you that that's not the means in which we should take it. So basically, they give us a standard, a curriculum of how to fight white supremacy. So this is why he's being called a blackface. This is why he's being labeled a coon. And mind you, Ray Lewis probably has good, righteous intent. Like, he doesn't mean no harm, but you can get lost conceptually in believing that white supremacy is something that we all need to live by. We know the NFL condones white supremacy. We know the NFL don't care too much about police brutality. But as a people, as a black face, as a white face, as a human, we need to understand that the NFL's position is against the people.
I don't totally agree with that. But you talk about bringing him in as a Baltimore Raven. The thing that we talked about the most, then I got on the phone with Ozzy, the thing we talked about the most was, what does the core, what's the temperature of the core says? When these young guys, these Humphreys, these new guys.
See, he's a football mind, football savvy type guy. Pretty much his whole life is based on football. He has a football mindset. So being socially and politically aware and active of what's going on, I wouldn't expect it from a Ray Lewis anyway. But these are the faces that they put in front of us to tell us how to react and how to be, telling Cap not to speak. People need to hear this. Some people are unaware of the police brutality and the social injustice. So it needs to be spoken of.
Just come in there, this new core that you're trying to put together. Where does that take them? Right? Does this come in and be purely football? Is he purely dialed in on football?
See, he's reducing Kaepernick. He's labeling Cap to just be a football player, and that's it. Society wants us to be robotic to their institutions and their notions. If you're going to be a football player, that's all you better do. You better not speak on this. You can't say this. You have to have the politically correct stance on everything. When we see these interviews and we see these players talk, they're directly speaking from the fucking teleprompter, it seems like. Or they've been given it from their agent on how to speak and what to say and what not to say. So you have to understand, he's condoning being a robot and not standing for social activism.
Because if he is, then we have to weigh that option.
See, if he is a robot, we can weigh that option. If he's not, we can't.
If he's not, then we have to figure something else out.
And what was your view of how much he could help them win?
And my view realistically is, how bad is Joe hurt? Because if Joe is out one more week, let's say 2 more weeks, that's preseason. That's preseason.
He's not fighting for Joe's position. He's fighting for the backup. Is he better than the backup?
Then really? Then why take that risk to have him come play a couple of preseason games?
Okay, what if Joe is higher risk going through the year with an iffy back that could go out at any time? Would you rather have Ryan Mallett or Colin Kaepernick as his backup?
I never played with either one of them.
Damn. So he can't even answer that. Mallet or Cap? Come on, man. Well, who would you rather have? Whether or not you played with him, who would you rather have?
So it's, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I think every time they come to me from a different perspective. I'm going to come from the beat of the locker room. I'm just talking about the beat of the locker room. The beat of the locker room is give me the best player that can help.
So Cap ain't better than Mallet? I digress.
Let's win.
No.
That's the beat. And so going through the whole thing, Shay, I think one of the interesting things, because we talked for a while, one of the interesting things when you hear about you're gonna please somebody, you're not gonna please this person. Okay, that's life, right? You're gonna piss some people off and you're gonna make some people happy. Okay, whatever. Yep. But at the end of the day, what I'm asking us to do as an organization, let's make a real decision that what we're gonna do. If we're gonna do it, do it. But if you're gonna do it, make sure we know why we're doing it, and hopefully, it's to win.
That was a whole bunch of nothing right there. Basically, what I took from it is keep it football.
Well, listening to Steve talk, if he doesn't think Kaepernick can help them win, what are we discussing? Why are we even having this conversation?
Is this a marketing tool? Is this a business gesture? You don't want Baltimore to detract from their black clientele, maybe? Because if you didn't want Cap, why are you making this whole Cap debacle in Baltimore? Having your fans in an uproar showing their true colors, talking about they don't want Cap because he stands up for social activism. So what is this about?
He said it. He's not even given an opportunity. He says he doesn't believe that Colin Kaepernick can help them win.
He said, "I'm not sure."
So right? what?
And he told me that, but he told me that now, and that's why I want to make sure we're clear here. Mm-hmm. Right? There's no if he did this and why he did that. Nah, because we both talked about that. That's fine with us.
So let me ask you a question. Yeah. You happen to be there when they brought Dante Stallworth in. He was driving under the influence and killed a pedestrian.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Did Steve talk to fans, sponsors, and you?
No fans, no sponsors, maybe him.
Yeah, actually.
So he talked to you on that one?
Yeah.
Okay, when Suggs had his incident with his wife, did Steve Bisciotti talk to fans, sponsors, and you?
No fans, no sponsors again. You got domestic abuse and you got a drunk nigga murdering somebody. Then you got Cap taking a knee. Which one's under the most scrutiny?
Talk to me for sure.
Okay. So that's 3 for 3. So Dante's situation.
There's no issue since I was playing that has not been discussed with either me, Steve, me, Ozzy, me, John. Okay. It's never changed. And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to give any more merit because of this Colin Kaepernick.
Right. You have to give it more merit because Colin Kaepernick hasn't abused anybody. He's only spoken what he's allotted to do under our Constitution. If you consider us black citizens as American, he can speak his position as a black American, and if he's facing injustice, if he sees injustice, he can speak it. But this is being more scrutinized than a murder and a domestic dispute.
Say, why did they call? You know what I'm saying? Nah,
I'm not surprised because I know you're one of the few players that's not a quarterback that's held in regard like teams look at a John Elway, a team look at a Dan Marino. That's why you have a stadium, a statue outside the stadium. But see, when I listen to Steve talk, he says, I like how he went from sitting to kneeling. But he
just a gesture alone. Never attacked the issue.
Never mentioned why Colin Kaepernick kneeled. Now, the very thing that Colin Kaepernick was protesting is the very thing that President Trump encouraged on.
And what Trump is encouraging, what Cap is protesting, is being sideswiped by all media representatives other than Shannon, other than Jamil Hill, shout out to her, other than a couple people, I heard Broussard talk about it. Stephen A, he coon here, and then he go back, try to act like he's for the community, so he go back and forth, he a coon to me, but all these representatives try to not bring up police brutality as the issue and make Cap the problem. Cap's not the problem. If police brutality stopped, that nigga Cap probably be silenced.
Friday, which was police brutality. Now, Steve Bisciotti on that team, and in 2015, you were there. You and I talked about it. Something happened to Freddie Gray. He lost his life for police brutality. I have yet to hear an owner talk about that.
Owners never speak on injustices within the black community as far as police brutality. They never speak on being marginalized within that community. We're more subjected to low-class situations. So white supremacy doesn't stop whether or not we act right or we do good, because that's what Ray Lewis is going to say. If we do right, and he's going to mention black-on-black crime, which is why people are calling it cooning. When you throw black-on-black crime as the primary issue within this social injustice we have in the face of police brutality, you're sideswiping the issue. Two separate issues, both created by the same demon of white supremacy. Acknowledge that. Don't blame the black man.
You have to hear Steve Bisciotti talk about that.
I know, but so let's be very careful with that.
This the cooning. This the cooning.
Right now, there's over 200 plus murders in Baltimore. How many people you got talking about that? Nobody. So I'm just saying, before you put somebody in a pickle to say
no, I'm not putting him in a pickle, Ray. I'm talking. Okay, let me ask you this: when Pookie shoots a Willie, they find Pookie. Where Pookie going?
Jail.
He going to jail. When these police shoot these unarmed black men and women, even on camera, where they going, Ray?
That's the topic of discussion. Fuck, citizens, can y'all listen to it? This is what Cap has been trying to kneel for. And we've been talking about the flag and him kneeling and all other shit. But his primary issue is they keep letting these cops off who keep killing unarmed innocent black men. Period. And women. And people in general. But y'all refuse to talk about it. Ray Lewis not going to talk about it right now. Watch.
Back on the force.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the police brutality. See, what they're trying to do is that when we talk about police brutality, they talk about Chicago.
Get them.
They talk about Detroit. They talk about Baltimore.
Get them.
Okay. You want me to come up with a solution that you helped put me in.
Shannon, the realest nigga in sports. Period. You want me to come up with a solution, black on black crime, that you helped put me in. Y'all reduced me to this situation. Now you want to say, black people, we have to do something to get ourselves out. Yes, we can do something individually, but that's not going to stop white supremacy. That's not going to stop the suppression. We've tried this before. Black Panthers, good community active group, abolished by the government, the feds. So don't say we can just lace up our bootstraps. At some point, we have to attack the elite, the white supremacists. My white folks watching this, it ain't even about y'all. Y'all inherit the ideas and the physical benefits. You're more white privilege, not supremacy. Think about it.
I 100% understand what you're saying.
That's why he can't disagree.
And what I'm trying to tell you is there's no issue.
He can only deflect. He can't disagree. Peep that. Deflection is... You're going to sideswipe and alter the issue. Now you're going to talk about something else.
With what you're talking about with police brutality. We're sitting here as men.
Yeah.
So let's understand this. We're sitting here as men. And me and you, as men, ourselves, not watch nobody else deal with police brutality. I lived it.
Oh, I know.
So understand that. Just understand the dynamic of what we're talking about. I'm not talking about if this person stood out. It's not too many people. Say it for what it is. It ain't too many people gonna stand up to go into black neighborhoods and worry about black folks killing.
I agree with that, but that has nothing to do with the primary issue of police brutality. They're not gonna care about neither of those issues. And that only leads to the demise of the African people, of the people reduced to a low class.
Killing themselves. That's factual. So sooner or later, then we figure that out.
So your point makes no sense in regards to this topic.
Then we're gonna start taking care of ourselves. So when I started to start to understand these things, Shay, what I started to understand was that ain't Steve Bishotti's fight. What happened to Freddie Gray? That ain't no.
See, and now he's not wrong, or he's not incorrect. Let me rephrase that. But he may be wrong. If we're Americans, if we're united, if we stick together, it is Steve Bishotti's fight. But he's not incorrect in the fact that I know it's Steve Bisciotti don't give a fuck and none of these owners give a fuck. So essentially, they don't think it is their fight. So I agree and disagree with him. I disagree morally, but I agree with him as far as being correct. It's not Steve Bisciotti's fight. If we look at it, he don't give a fuck. None of these owners do. But should it be?
Owners fight.
Yes, it is, though, right?
If it is.
That's what Shannon's arguing. Like, it should be his goddamn fight.
If it is,
this is America.
If it is, then all of our owners should get together and go in these urban neighborhoods and clean it up. Why wouldn't you?
Because, Ray, they don't care because it's an issue they're never going to have to face.
Bingo. They don't give a fuck. Just like I said, they don't care. They don't see racism. Elitists don't see racism. They create it and then build a barrier to never have to face it.
It's people like you and I that's been there and know people that's faced these issues. You talking about Steve Bisciotti is never going to have to worry about the police beating him or
Facts.
or a family member down. Jerry Jones, Mr. Kraft, they never going to have to worry about that.
That's what I just said.
See, they both right, but it's from a moral compass and it's from a rational compass. Rationally, they not gonna fuck with us, but morally, we think they should.
So why should they care? They should care because it's the United States of America. You care about what's going on in the Ukraine.
Exactly. So we see the divisiveness within America. The European elitists, these elitists don't care about us citizens, the 99%, and then that makes the divide in which white citizens now don't really care about the plight of racism. So y'all peep, man, this is a deep one. I like this one.
You care about what's going on in Venezuela?
How many times before any of these things came up? Before you was playing? After you playing? How many times it happened?
But they pretended
No, just answer how many times did it happen?
It was going on a lot, but the advent of social media.
I know we keep.
I don't want to go back and forth.
See, Shannon's gonna say it keeps getting reduced. That's what it happens a lot, but the media reduces it like you're doing right now.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
time out. So let's go back to, can he help the Baltimore Ravens win?
Skip doing his part to be like, all right, don't make it about race. Fuck that. Let's talk about football. That's what they do all the time. They never gonna talk about police brutality. That's what Shannon want to talk about. You feel me? But they not doing that.
Forget about all the
That's simple.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
And what I saw from that video of Steve Bisciotti talking to a fan forum at your stadium with the commissioner up on stage, sitting on a stool right down from him, listening to all this, I saw a show that I did not like, that left a bad taste in my mouth because it came across like it was all for show, that he merely wanted to deliver a message to his sponsors and his fans and ultimately to us.
All right, yeah, basically we dealing with Ray Lewis. Skip saying this piece in his part. He's saying he put on a show, but this is about Ray Lewis and Shannon Sharpe and their position or disposition to the situation. We should not assimilate as athletes, black athletes, as people to whoever's notion. We should be able to say whatever the fuck we want, and we should be able to conduct ourselves. And as the NFL, they have all right to not allow cap. Don't get it twisted. So if you come on my comment saying they shouldn't let them in, they have all the rights. It's a privatized industry. But we have to question why we accept these privatized industries with these certain restraints on our freedom. You know what I'm saying? Our freedom of speech is upended every time. So yeah, man, this is about Ray Lewis and his protection to white supremacy and a black face. This is about being a black face. This is about being a Negro who doesn't advocate the Negro plight. So yeah, this Dane, what y'all think, man? Comment on it.